Season 1 on fanfiction.net. I wanted to spine on DeviantArt, but DeviantArt kind of has I didn't like them as much, and I want to make sure they are safe for work, so that this channel doesn't get demonetized by reader not safe for work content. Gosh, okay. So this is Blazing Silver by this dude. A short story between Silver and Blaze. I hope you enjoy it. The characters belong to Sega except my OC R&R. Wait, the OC's in the story? Blaze the cat culture strolled down the sidewalk towards a little pink house located right before the forest for another dimension. It sure had much to offer her. The sights, the people, the animals, the things to do, everything. She had no idea why Silver didn't want to go out and do something today. Oh, Silver, Blaze mumbled to herself. Silver the Hedgehog, quote-unquote, naive Silver telekinetic hedgehog from the future. That's a lot of words, as Blaze put it. At first, Silver and Blaze hardly knew each other, and kept each other perceptibly distant. However, during a storytelling night with the gang, it was revealed that both Blaze and Silver hailed from other times. They were both, as some may see it, outside of Moebius. With that knowledge in hand, Blaze felt it was easier to relate to Silver and vice versa. Then, when it came time to saving the world from Dr. Eggman, Blaze somehow always found herself paired with Silver every time the team would divide into groups. True, she did favor to work alone and not rely on others for help. That's actually true about Blaze. She's antisocial. Also. But with Silver, he was an exception. In a short time, an acceptance has slowly become a preference. Soon, Blaze became quite fond of Silver. She felt open to him, and when she would talk, he would listen. Even though he was extremely naive, which is really true, it was something Blaze liked about him. Before long, the two had developed a close friendship. When there wasn't anything threatening, or no sign of Dr. Eggman, Blaze and Silver would spend time exploring Moebius together. Is that how you pronounce that? Moebius, her second home. After Blaze discovered the beauty of this world, she decided to stay. After all, if anything went wrong in her kingdom, she was sure that her subjects would open a gate to this dimension altar of her danger. Since she was going to be in Moebius, she needed a place to stay. Due to her work with Sonic and the rest of the gang, with saving the world multiple times, the landowner has given her the house for free. God, I wish that happened in real life. She still remembered that day when she asked Silver to help her move her stuff into her new home. Blaze recalled that memory. She has given Silver a call to ask if he could help her move in her stuff. He happily compiled and flew over to her location within a few minutes. Thanks to his telekinetic power, Blaze's stuff was moved in under an hour. God, I wish I had telekinetic power, then that makes life so much easier, but oh well, that's reality. So, after they were done, Silver had commented on how Blaze did a great job with furniture placement and decoration. Blaze then asked if Silver had a house. His answer was no. And when Blaze asked him why not, he said he was a quote-unquote drifter. Huh. Okay. More like a lost hedgehog without a home, Blaze thought to herself again. Then she had offered to share her house with him. Oh, so like roommates, basically. At first he wasn't sure, and it seemed as if he would never go for it. But due to a change in mind, Blaze didn't know. Silver had agreed to stay with her. The only thing he had was a cell phone, so moving in wasn't a big hassle. Now, Silver has been living with her for a year now. Being who he was, Silver didn't freeload, mooch, or take advantage of Blaze or her house, which Blaze found quite noble and gentlemanlike. Over the years, their friendship have grown just about every day. It was only recent months ago, I can't read, that Blaze had considered that she has a feeling of affection for Silver. You know, a lot of people say that maybe they're more than brother and sister, maybe there's a romance, because when I Google Silver the Hedgehog, one of the Google searches was, does Silver have a girlfriend? Kind of makes sense, but like Sega didn't really confirm it. Sega only said like, oh, they have like a brother and sister relationship in Sonic 06. Silver's backstory is so confusing because there's different sources saying like he comes from the future, or like he lives in the future Sonic's world, or like I don't know, lives in an alternate dimension. And if Silver got his own game, which please, it needs to happen. And like I hope that clears everything up. Has his origin story. Maybe Blaze is in there because let's be real, both Silver and Blaze are really underrated in games. But like I know they have been like used in comics, but like they haven't made at least one animated appearance in like a TV show or web series. I mean, yeah, they would be good candidates for Sonic X, but like considering the fact that Blaze came out in 2006 and no, Silver debuted in 2006 and Blaze debuted in 2005, so it would be like not possible to include them like last minute since the Sonic X ended in 2005. But I did see in an interview that Sega, now one of the someone for the Sonic 2 says they are open to make another Sonic show, and if that happens, please include Blaze and Silver. They've been out of the spotlight for years. They need more love. Thank you. And let's continue. During that time, she completely dismissed those feelings, but every day after that, she found it more difficult to resist those feelings for Silver, without reason. She had a hunch that Silver was in the same predicament too. Blaze approached her house and suddenly saw a combined flash of white and neon green lights. Oh, that's why he didn't go out, Blaze thought. And then there was a sudden flare of irritation inside her mind. Not again. Blaze groaned as she stepped onto the porch and reached for the keys in her robe. Meanwhile, out back behind Blaze's house, Silver landed on the ground with a thud. His whole body ached as he felt fatigue starting to overwhelm him. Get up, his opponent/trainer said harshly. Obeyingly, Silver used his wobbling arms and started to get up, but then a slamming neon green force crashed against him, whamming him back on the grass. Ow. Silver muttered. Something I would say if I get hurt. The enemy is going to do whatever they can to keep you down, Silver heard him say. You must do what you can to stay up. You know, I just realized the opponent/trainer. The other thing, if Silver was to get his own game, is explain the origin of his power, which actually, yeah, it could make sense that he's born with it because it's a norm for people in his future to have psychic powers. But I feel like there's a lot of theories that could go to how Silver got his power. The basic one is, well, he's just born with it. I feel like there's more to that than just that, if that makes sense. It's easy enough to say when you're not the one down, Neon. Silver shot back. Neon the Hedgehog just stared down. So what? So there's suddenly another hedgehog. Nice. Just stared down Silver a few meters away. His arm outstretched at Silver. Then it's your job to make me fall, Neon countered. Silver tried to rise again against invisible force, but Neon raised his hand and slammed it down. There's another flash of neon green light, and Silver crashed onto the grass again. Slowly, Silver instinctively but exhaustively gathered up his telekinetic powers. Thanks, Silver. Neon instructed. Use that head there. There was a white flash as Silver pushed himself up and sent a repulse of energy through the air, taking Neon by surprise and knocking him back. However, that wasn't all that Silver had planned. He shot his right hand, just imagining it right now, forward and pulled it back, sending the already fallen enemy back towards him. Then Silver shot his left hand forward and let a blast of telekinetic channel through the air. There was another bright flash as the blast smashed into Neon's head. Neon's got a concussion now. Flinging him, somersaulting him back again. Silver watched in anticipation to see Neon crash into the ground. Dang, Silver, you savage, boy! To his disappointment, Neon had regained his balance, and he hovered on his metal shoes a few feet over the ground. As usual, Neon was surrounded by Noah Neon Green. Whenever he used his own advanced telekinetic powers. That's what this whole thing was about, training Silver's powers. Good, Neon said flatly. Silver was breathing heavily as he stood up. His arms were slowly numbing. His legs felt like they were about to collapse at any second. The world around Silver was shaking, but he steadied himself for another onslaught of heavy telekinetic energy from Neon. I literally thought Silver was gonna collapse. That's like, I'm so concerned about that. There was the sound of the back door opening, and both hedgehogs turned around to see the newcomer, Blaze the cat, in the doorway with her arms crossed and an aggravated expression of on her muzzle. Blaze glanced at, how long is this story? Holy god. Blaze glanced at Silver, who was standing with his shaking legs out of breath, and then glared at Neon, who was floating a few feet above ground. Do you have to be so hard on him? She mental scolded. For a few moments, she heard silence in her mind. He asked me to train him, Neon's voice echoed in her mind. Blaze winced. She still wasn't used to Neon talking her in her mind. No one was. Then don't overdo it! Blaze shot back. The heavy training, the more powerful he becomes. Is that true though? Because I feel like if you just push yourself too hard, then like, yeah, you can overdo yourself. That makes sense. But I don't know. I don't know how this works. If I'm gonna be real here. What are you two doing? Silver breathed. Both Neon and Blaze turned to look at Silver. Blaze watched as Silver bared a scowl at Neon. Neon probably told him to shut up. Tele, tele, telepathically. Besides, why do you care about him so? Why do you? Holy God! Besides, why do you care so much about him? Oh. Neon's voice asked in Blaze's mind. Wait, since when did Blaze can have the ability to read tele telepathic messages? Isn't that like a psychic people thing? I don't know. Because I love. Blaze started to say but stopped and merely stared at Neon. Oh, I see, Neon's voice said quietly. Neon's glanced at Silver, then back at Blaze, who was still standing. That's enough for today, Neon declared to Silver. I'll be back in a month. Neon glanced at Blaze. So many glances. There's a glance here, and then a glance there, and then there's another one. I don't know where it is. Good luck, Neon said in Blaze's mind. Neon floated up of the tree in the forest with a flash of a neon green light. It was already telekinetic running across the tree. Telekinetically running. You mean he was already levitating and flying off? I think that's what they're trying to say. Up the trees in the forest, miles away from Blaze's house. Blaze turned and looked at Silver, who was looking at her. She started to walk over to him. Silver managed to muster a smile before his legs gave in and he started to fall. Okay, so it took him that time to collapse. I mean, I guess that depends on the person's stamina, no? On instinct. Blaze rushed over and caught him by the arm before he hit the ground. She felt his weight topple over her shoulder. Now use her strength to hoist him up. Steady, Silver. Let's get you inside, Blaze said as she heaved him towards her house. Silver's legs stood as he tried to walk. I'm fine, Blaze, he said, but almost tumbled to the ground again. Blaze used her free hand to heave him up again. You're so naive, Blaze mumbled as they passed through the doorway. Blaze watched as the rain clouds rolled through the sky. Suddenly, raindrops started to pelt against the window glass. Blaze just sat up in her seat, pulled her head away from the window. Water was never Water was never a thing she liked. Then how come she's able to swim in Mario and Sonic? 1. She was a cat. And 2. She had the power of fire. But then again, I'm questioning about how she's able to withstand uh, the water in Mario and Sonic. I'm pretty sure she's a certain type of cat breed. Because there were cats out there who like water. Like, I think it's a Maine Coon cat that really likes the water. So bathing them doesn't seem like a problem. So I don't think she's a Maine Coon cat. I think she's just like a, I don't know. Let me just search up some cat breeds. If we are being technical about what breed Blaze is, then she could be like either a mix of a Persian cat and American short hair. If we're getting technical about what kind of breed Silver is and like all the other hedgehogs, they could be like an African pygmy hedgehog, which is a common breed in hedgehogs and like keeping them as pets or so. There was an ear-shattering boom of thunder, and the lights went out. Power out, okay. Blaze suddenly found herself in a dim room. The only light source was from the window around the house. Even then, the light was dim and gray. Blaze got up and went over to the light switch and flicked the switch on and off. Nothing. Summoning a fireball, a ball of inferno formed in the center of Blaze's hand, using the light from the fire to guide her. She walked through the dim house and over to the kitchen. She pulled open the fridge with her other hand and glanced inside. The fridge was still humming with power and keeping all of the food inside it cold. So, just the lights were not working. Great, Blaze muttered as she closed the fridge and went over to the adjacent room, the living room. As she entered, she looked over to the couch to see Silver right where she had placed him. Silver sprawled on the couch, his quills pressed on the pillow, and his shoes over the edge of the other side of the couch. Blaze smiled as she diminished the flame in her hand, made way for the I'm tired, I'm sorry. Made her way to the front of the couch and laid down. Using Silver's right arm for a pillow, she made herself comfy, closed her eyes, and started to purr. Comfy? Silver's voice asked. Blaze opened her eyes and almost jumped. Well, that escalated. At first, Blaze wanted to lash out at Silver for startling her. Honestly, I do the same, but that doesn't sound pleasant, so... But then she remembered the heavy beating that required him to lay on the couch. In a matter of fact, yes, Blaze said as she relaxed. She could almost picture Silver smiling. Out of curiosity, she turned her head towards Silver's. When she saw his head, it was looking right at her with half-open eyes and a faint smile. Do you always do that every month? Blaze wanted. Yeah, but it's usually half the day instead of 2 hours, Silver explained. You are really determined to get better. Blaze muttered and faced the ceiling. Silver turned his head deep in the pillow with a confused expression as Blaze. It's that bad? Silver asked. Blaze turned her head to Silver. No, but every time you get worn out by the end, I just don't want something to happen to you. Blaze just realized what she had said. She expected Silver to catch that or say something in reply, but he said nothing. He just sighed and looked at the ceiling. You're so naive, Blaze thought, as she too looked up at the ceiling. Did you hear about Sonic and Amy? Blaze asked. No, what happened? They're together now. About time. Silver mumbled. So Silver's a Sonic Amy fan? That's cute. Slowly falling asleep, Blaze smiled as his remark. They fell in love in the meadow blooming flowers. Wait, was Blaze like watching like from behind? That's kind of creepy, if you may ask. Good for them, Silver mumbled. He wasn't really grasping the full awareness of falling in love in the meadow blooming flowers. You're so naive, Silva. So how many times has she said steal some knife? She said one, and then she said this, and then she said another one here, and then somewhere here she said it. I don't know where it is. I think oh yeah, here we go. Oh my gosh, okay. Silva slowly turned to her, his neck aching in pain. How am I naive? Silva asked. Blaze turned her head and looked at Silva's confused expression. She found it rather cute. Her heart was pounding inside from the idea she had, taking in a deep breath to calm herself. She acted. You just saw it, Blaze answered. I leaned over and gave a little kiss. A little kiss. A little. Ah! I feel like it's a little kiss to Silva's cheek. A little kiss on Silva's cheek. What's grammatically correct? I think. Now get some rest. You need it. Blaze turned around and to hide her smile on her face, leaving a speechless and wide awake Silva to comprehend what just happened. Blaze? Get some rest, Silva. Blaze told him. She closed her eyes, trying to best contain her glee. Silva just looked at the ceiling, trying to figure out what's filling in his heart. How am I naive? He thought to himself. His mind juggled with the idea of asking Blaze again to see if he would do the same thing. But he figured he should do what she said and get some sleep. Slowly, his eyes closed, and he started to drift to sleep thanks to the soft padding sounds of rain hitting the house. Blaze also fell asleep after a minute, laying on Silva's arm and purring as she dreamed. That's the end. Well, that was a something indeed. At least it wasn't like not safe for work, because this is actually a decent story. I think the plot hole I'm missing is like, yeah, they do have like disagreements and all that. Because if there were no disagreements, then like that story would be Mary Sue. And Mary Sue, in terms of like fan fiction, is like I see no see it's like quote unquote too perfect. So let's say there's a fan fiction everyone's blonde hair. That's Mary Sue because there's no diversity. And like if you're doing a romantic fan fiction and like everyone has a girlfriend and like you mentioned, oh, we don't fight. I mean we fight, but like no major argument, then that's Mary Sue because of course there's gonna be a major argument between couples and all that. Um I did like the addition of like an OC Neon. I kind of want to know what he's like. Maybe like a mix of Shadow and Self. Also, um, I guess the ending's left open to interpretation of like having feelings towards each other. Also, alright, that's it. Hope you enjoy, and bye.